The way your attic insulation works is the same way, folks. Your soffit vent is that window that's just cracked a little bit. Your ridge vent is that window that's got the box fan blowing out. That's creating the draw to cool off the attic space. Your attic space should imitate the outside temperature very, very closely, within about 10 degrees. So if it's 95 out, it shouldn't be any more than 105 in that attic space. Those two work together, insulation and ventilation. Okay? Now, when we talked about that, creating a draw, how many people don't open their windows at all? There's 6 months out of the year in this market. Don't run that AC in the furnace. Do what I just told you. Create that draw. That's passive. These are passive products, folks. What's a passive product? Something you make an investment in once, and from there on out, it's saving you money. That's a passive product. The true definition of a passive product. So, is an energy efficient heat pump a passive product? Whoever gets this answer is going to get a prize.
Yeah.
No.
No, it isn't. Anytime you turn a switch, it's not a passive product. What a heat pump does, an energy efficient thing, might cost you less money to get the same comfort, but it's not a passive product because it uses energy. Make sense? So, your biggest bang for your buck is passive. The least expensive passive product out there is insulation. So that's where I start building my lifetime customer. I start saving them money on the passive product. And when they realistically see the gains that I present to them, they start saving for the next project. And the next project. So we start with insulation. Recommended amount of insulation here is? I'll give you a Pink Panther if you get it right.
No, don't ask me.
It's R38. It's R38 or more, which is about 14 inches in insulation. About 80% of the houses in this market are under insulated. Yeah. We estimate about 80. Now, you can say we talked about earlier about up to 20%. I tell my customers 15 because I want to go like a realistically need. Now, is anybody here familiar with radiant barrier? There's 2 forms of radiant barrier that we at the Home Depot offer. Okay? One is a spray-on, which is this here is called heat block. And one is a foil. Now, you all remember Jiffy popcorn? A foil radiant barrier works the same way as that popcorn. It gets hot, it puffs up, right? When it gets hot, this is attached to the rafters of the roof. It puffs up. It creates an envelope of air. Okay? Now the foil that's on the back side reflects the UV rays back out of the roof. It stops it from getting in your attic space and heating up your attic space. So we created a nice envelope of insulation within the rafters to help protect the roof from burning out radiation. The combination of these two, the Department of Energy says, can save you up to 35%. I tell my customers 30, because I want to realistically meet their goals. Now, in your attic space, what is the largest opening? Your attic access hatch. It's a big chimney. Now, one way to save that until you can afford to do it properly is proper weather stripping. Okay? You want a good seal around the perimeter of that attic access hatch for 2 reasons. One is energy efficiency, and one is safety. Why would that be a safety issue? You get a Pink Panther.
On the table, boss.
You get a Pink Panther. That's a chimney. If you have a fire, that's an oxygen, source of oxygen. It can make that fire spread quicker. So, when you go up and look in that attic space tomorrow, go to the store, after you get done, and look at the weather stripping, what you need there. And you weather strip that to make it go in your garage, and there's a hole in your drywall in the ceiling. What is that? The chimney. Ceiling. What's the most prevalent place for you to have a fire? Kitchen or your garage? Because your garage is also a prevalent spot, because I know that because my partner had a gas tank blow up. My business partner had a gas tank blow up in his garage. His house is gone in 3 minutes. Okay? Because there was a hole, a crack in his ceiling good, and went like wildfire. So, there's more to look at than just the energy efficiency, as far as the dollars and cents of your bill. The dollars and cents of what it saves you as far as some of the products, because a roof is an expensive project. If you can expand the lifespan of that 5 years, that's just an additional savings, folks. Just another way that you're going to save some money by doing an energy efficient product. This here is the best $318 you're going to spend on an attic insulation project, because the biggest opening is this. And how this works, it gets nailed or stapled to the framing of that access hatch. And you're still able to access it because there's a zipper on it. You open the attic space, come back down, zipper it back up, and it's effectively the same as a radiant barrier.
Would that be for your stairwell drop down?
Stairwell drop down or an attic access hatch. Either one of them. Any access hatch that you got. Now, the spray on radiant barrier, I'm going to do a little demonstration. Now this product is low emissivity, so there's no problem with it. What I have on your right-hand side is a piece of metal that's treated. And on the left-hand side is untreated, it's just painted. We get that even so it's not looking like I'm biased. And I'm going to take my laser thermometer and I want to volunteer. You want to volunteer? Bueller? Bueller? Come on up. All you do is you press this like a gun and you point it at the surface. And it's going to give you a temperature reading. What I'd like you to do first is point it at this white part and tell me what the temperature reading comes out to be.
94.2. 91.7.
Now put it on the side.
Some 80, 79, 82, 83.
So what that's doing, and that's just a couple seconds in. The longer that sits there, now we'll do another reading on it. That radiant barrier is stopping the sun's rays. That heat lamp on the other side is mimicking the sun's rays. So it's stopping about 20% of that from getting inside the house, in your attic space. This is a sprayed-on application. Radiant barrier is a foil application of the same thing. Now, if it's emitting that rays back out through, it's not cooking the roofing from the inside. You're saving on your energy bills, and you have more comfortable, at least upper level of your home. If you're on a ranch, you're going to have that throughout the whole thing. Well, let's see what it's up to now. Oh, 160? 87.8. This is going to continue to get hotter and hotter. This is going to stay the same. If I left it on for 15 minutes, this will be about 200 degrees. This is still going to be about 90. Go ahead.
What side is it painted on?
Paint is right here. That white portion is paint. The
Okay.
silver is the radiant barrier painted on it, or below, sprayed on it.
So it's painted on that side, he's coming from the other side.
That's acting like a roof. This is the sun on the outside beating on your roof. Okay? This is just a mock-up of what the summertime is with the sun beating on your roof. On the underside of your roofing, you have a radiant barrier. No radiant barrier on this side. 183 degrees. 96 degrees.
So that would be inside your attic?
That would be on the ceiling of your attic space.
It's blown in over the rafters and then what exposed decking boards.
Now, on the progression of these two installations of a attic insulation or a radiant barrier, the radiant barrier must be done first. Why do you think that would be?
Kind of hard to walk over on it, that's 14.
You're going to trample down the insulation, put it into the radiant barrier. It's really that simple. Any questions up so far on any of the things we've covered?
You might know that anything you need to do in your attic, you need to do before you do the installation. You need to do your cans, you need to do,
We do those.
you know, like the raceway for your,
We do that as well.
ducts and everything. All the open electrical boxes, no one better put a cover on, and all the other atrocities.
We do all of those things at our home services. Okay? That's part of an installation job, and that's part of the at-home consultation that we do, is to identify what can and cannot be done. If you have a storage space in your attic space, what we'll do is we'll find out a little box. Okay? A lot of times, if you're going to use your attic space for storage, radiant barrier is a solution that you still have an insulating factor in there, and you can still use it as a storage space. Make sense? You get the game. If you have 8 inches of blown in and a radiant barrier, you're up at the R38, the TVA should have no problem with that. As far as an each score.
Because is the only color you have silver?
Are you looking for attractiveness?
Well, seriously, my house is, I don't have an attic. Our upper floor where we have our computer and everything is white painted
Cathedral?
stuff.
No. This goes in your attic space, your rafters. If you have a cathedral ceiling,
Yeah,
we cannot install a radiant barrier in that area.
there's nothing else to use comparable.
See, everybody looks at installation as a very easy installation. It takes a lot of knowledge. And I see a lot of bad installation jobs. Let me give you, for instance. And if anybody gets this, they'll get a hat. Say you have an attic space right now that's got rolled insulation, fiberglass pads, with a paper backing on it. Hold on. In an attic space, is that proper?
Well, I built the house in '94, and it was a lot better insulated than this blown-in stuff I've got in the house that I've got now. This stuff moves around, storing stuff up there, people moving up there. I had an E-score 5 years ago, and a guy came, in-home energy evaluation 5 years ago. They made recommendations, I had more insulation blown in. They came back 2 weeks ago, did an E-score and said, this is a wreck, you need to re-insulate everything. So I don't have a whole lot, this blown-in insulation, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in.
Well, why is there a trampling up there?
I don't know, it wasn't really trampling, it's just moving some things around. Well, we did replace the roof, okay, and when they replaced the roof, I'm not sure what kind of movement was up there that kind of moved stuff around.
Here's the thing. If you go up in the attic and start crawling around in it, yeah, you're going to compress it.
Yeah.
If you leave that alone, and I blow it in there at R38, and you call me in 5 years, because we're going to put attic rulers up there. We're going to hang these around your attic space. And it says R38 right there. 5 years from now, you call me with, Jeff, my insulation's sagged, I only got 11 inches now. What am I going to do? I'm going to come in and blow more. How much is it going to cost you? Nothing. For how long? Ever. Sponsored by who? The world's largest home improvement retailer. We back our warranties. If you have a contractor up in these trampoline, can't fix either. If I was up in your attic doing a repair on a socket, I'd lightly move it out of the way. I'd lightly move it back in as I come out. Because if you compress it, you're decreasing the power level. But I was getting to how insulation is installed as far as batted, non-batted.
I like that,
Okay?
my experience.
All right.
It's less disruptive.
Okay. Well, here's the question.
Paper's got to be down.
Where should the paper be?
Has to be done something.
Should be on the warm side, on the conditioned side of the house. What I see, okay, so if you have batted insulation with the paper